Okay, hi, I'm Niky from Synergy Physio and this is Alix, and we really look forward to sharing with you some exercises that you can do at home with your Theraband kit. So you're going to lie onto your back on the floor on a mat, and you'll take your long loop Theraband and either tie it around a doorknob, or you can tie a knot in it in half and stick it through a door and close the door, which will often secure it. Or if you've got a sliding door with a square handle, it'll often loop through there, I've found. So you'll lie onto your back in a comfortable position with your knees bent or straight, whichever you prefer, and take your hands into the straps. Now you'll have to hold roughly halfway up, so you won't hold at the end because the long loops are for your feet at the end. So with your arms up toward the ceiling, try and see if you can open up your collarbones and squeeze your shoulder blades together at the back and keep the back of your neck nice and long. And let's start with a set of 10 pull downs. Now you'll only come down to where you can comfortably. Keep the back of the neck long, open up the shoulder blades, and you'll get some arm work there. So a set of 10. Try to relax your breathing. See if you can do 10 pull downs. Keep the jaw relaxed so it's just the shoulder blade muscles working here. Once you've done 10 of those, you can then come down and bend the elbows. So pull the straps down, bend the elbows, and we'll do a set of 10 tricep pull downs. So again, in this position, see if you can keep your shoulder blades nice and open because we're trying to engage the postural muscles as well. So make sure you're not doing this exercise like this or with your chin forward. If you need a little pillow underneath your head, that's absolutely fine. So a set of 10 tricep pull downs. And once you've done 10 tricep pull downs, you'll come back to your arms up toward the ceiling, and we'll do a set of 5 on each leg where we pull down with the straps, engage the pelvic floor and core, and float the right leg away and then come back. So we'll do 5 on the right and then 5 on the left. So I'd like you with this exercise to see if you can breathe out on the way out, in on the way back. See if you can keep your pelvic floor and core engaged. Don't let your lower back arch increase or decrease. Keep your opposite leg a little bit light if you can, but don't forget your shoulder blades need to stay back. So we'll just do a set of 5 on each side. Back of the neck stays nice and long, relax the jaw. To start working the arms as well as the core together. Beautiful. Once you've done 5 each side, then we can take the feet into the straps. So you'll use your little foot strap that you've tied to place it around one foot, pop that foot on the floor and then stick your other foot into the strap. Now start with both feet on the floor, just in a bent position. Now have your hands by your side and see if you can lightly engage the pelvic floor and core muscles. So remember, the common errors are to grip with your belly or hold your breath or push out or try too hard or flatten your back. We don't want any of that. It's just a gentle pull up and in so your pelvic floor and core muscles are engaged. Then you'll float your right leg up into tabletop position and simply tap that right foot down to the floor and come back. We'll breathe out as we go out and in as we come back. Let's do a set of 10 on the right and then a set of 10 on the left. So it's important during this exercise, if you can, to keep your opposite leg a little bit light. Try not to let your back arch increase or decrease. Keep your pelvic floor engaged. Relax the neck, relax your breathing. Once you've done 10 on the right, you can simply swap sides. So we'll do 10 then on the left. So breathing out as you take your leg down to tap and breathing in as you come back. I'm not really worried which way you breathe as long as you're not holding your breath. So try to make sure you're avoiding the common core errors, which is trying too hard or holding your breath, pushing your tummy out or tucking your tail under. We don't want to do any of those things, just a light core exercise. Great. Let's make this a little bit more challenging now. So you'll start with both feet on the floor in a knees bent position. Take your right foot into tabletop. And now we'll extend the leg a little further out and to tap the floor. Beautiful. And then come back. Let's do a set of 5 here on each side. So remembering, the further out you stretch your leg, the more work it is for your core. So only go to where you can without your tummy popping out or your back arch increasing. We'll just do 5 on each side. So you'll breathe out on the way out and then in on the way back. And then once you've done 5 on the right, you'll simply swap sides. And again, if you find that when you stretch your leg out too far, your back arch increases, you just need to touch a little bit closer, and that's okay. And you'll keep your opposite leg just a little bit light. Good. And then from there, we'll start to increase this. So take the left foot back onto the floor, take the right foot into tabletop position, and take both hands up toward the ceiling. And this time what you'll do is engage your core, and as you exhale and extend the right leg away to tap the floor, you'll take the arms above the head. And let's do 10 of these. So the important thing is that your opposite leg stays a little bit light. You'll breathe out on the way out and in on the way back. And with the top half of your body, you'll gently engage your shoulder blade muscles. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, sometimes you can just stop and take your arms toward the ceiling and then go in the opposite direction. So it's like shoulders sinking into the sockets. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. So we'll do 10 on the right, and then we'll do 10 on the left. Beautiful. And then simply swapping sides. So taking your left foot into tabletop position, hands up toward the ceiling, engage the shoulder blade muscles, engage the core, and exhale on the way out and inhale on the way back. Try to relax the jaw as you do this and focus on the pelvic floor being engaged as you exhale and extend the leg away. Remembering the further away you go with your leg, the more work you have for your core, so keep it in a comfortable range that suits your body. Great. So once you've done 10 of those, then what we'll be doing is taking our feet out of the straps and using our red band to try and build on some gluteal muscles. So you'll take your other red loop band that you've got and you'll place it around the knees. Yes. And once it's around the knees, we're just going to start with a set of 5 even bridges. So keep your knees a little out into the band, engage the core, press through the heels and lift the hips up toward the ceiling. And let's just do 5 of these. Remembering not to lift too high, so just a comfortable height this with no pressure in your lower back. So once you've done 5 of those, you can then start to challenge the system a little bit more by extending your left leg away. And then you're going to do a set of 10 with more weight through the right heel. So let's do a set of 10 here through the right heel. And as you lift and lower, it's really important that your 2 hip bones of your pelvis stay centered toward the ceiling. So I call it the hip headlights. If you can imagine, your hip headlights need to stay pointing straight ahead, so no twisting through the pelvis. Remembering that there shouldn't be any pain in your back as you lift, so if there is, don't lift so high, engage the pelvic floor. So once you've done a set of 10 on the right leg, let's swap sides and do a set of 10 on the left leg. So again, remembering to push the left knee out into the band. I'm not too worried about the right leg at the moment. The right leg's a little bit light. You're using the left heel to lift and lower, keeping your knee out, your pelvic floor and core engaged, making sure the neck and shoulders stay relaxed for this exercise. Great. Now you can take the band off once you've done a set of 10 on each side. If you feel up to it, you can add a second set yourself at home, but then let's have just a gentle buttock stretch. So you'll hug the right knee toward the chest, extend the left leg away, and just see if you can reach for the ankle with the left hand. So you hold the right knee with your right hand and reach for the ankle with your left hand. And you'll just feel a gentle buttock stretch, remembering not to do this if you have pain on the outside of your hip. But for those that don't have pain on the outside of the hip, this stretch is quite nice to do after some glute work. Then you can simply swap sides. So take the left knee toward the chest and hold it with the left hand, and then reach for the ankle with the right hand. And you just pull on the ankle until you feel a stretch in the buttock. You'll often feel a bit more if you keep your knee over your belly a little bit more. That sometimes gives you a slightly stronger stretch. Great. Then from there, let's do some slightly harder core exercises. So take your feet back into the straps. Now, remembering that everyone's core muscles are at a different level, so if these exercises are too strong for you, make sure you go through the past exercises that I've just given you for a second set. But if you're a little bit stronger and you're ready for this, you can then take both of your feet into tabletop one at a time. So both feet up into tabletop, engaging your pelvic floor and core, and then you're going to stretch your right leg away to tap the floor, and then inhale, come back. And let's alternate legs. So you'll exhale, extend the left leg away, and then inhale, come back. And we'll do a set of 10 altogether. So you keep your pelvic floor and core engaged. You don't let your back arch increase or decrease. Try not to press your back flat to the floor. That's not natural. And remember, the further away you go with your leg, the stronger this is. So if you're having a challenge without letting your back arch increase, or if your core is popping out, then just touch a little closer. Once you've done 5 on each side, so 10 altogether, we'll then start to add the arms. So you can take both hands up toward the ceiling and extend your left leg away and take your right arm up above your head. So you're alternating arm and legs. And let's do 5 on each side. So a set of 5 on each side, remembering to keep the back of the neck long, shoulder blades lightly engaged, like gently hugging your shoulder blades together. Pelvic floor stays lifted. Breathing out on the way out and in on the way back. Great, just one more on each side. Great. Then from here, our last core challenge that we can do, our 2 neck stronger exercises. So take your hands by your sides, you'll take your heels together and let your knees drop out to the side, and you'll do a set of 5 frogs. So to do frogs, you're going to extend your legs and press your heels away on a diagonal and then come back. So this is a much stronger exercise. If you find that your back arch is increasing or your tummy's popping out, it's too strong for you. The higher your legs are, the easier it is. The stronger frog is a lower frog. So if you do that, that's much more challenging. But let's see if you can do 5 or 10 of these at home. We'll just do 5 at the moment for you to demonstrate. This is a great exercise for the core and also the legs. Once you've done your 5 frog exercises, you can straighten your legs. And again, this is the next slightly more challenging exercise. So if you haven't got a strong core, then you stick with the lower level exercises, but we'll take 5 circles in each direction. So you'll extend your legs out to where you can, inhale, come back. So you'll breathe out on the way out and in on the way back. Try to make sure that your pelvic floor and core stay engaged. Don't let your back arch increase. Don't let your tummy pop out. Relax your neck. We'll take 5 circles in each direction. And remembering, the bigger the circle, the harder the exercise. So if it's too strong for you, just make it short circles. And if your hamstrings are too tight, then this exercise won't suit you. Great. Once you've done 5 in each direction, you can now take your feet out of the straps. And we'll go back to one more gluteal exercise. So you'll take your red band back around your hips, around your knees, sorry. Great. Now, this exercise again is designed to build on your gluteals. With the band, you'll press through the heels and lift the hips up off the floor, and then push your knees out just a fraction into the band and then back to the center and lower down. Let's do a set of 10. So lifting, push out, back to the center, lower down. And as you lift and as you lower, just ensure that you're not lifting too high. I don't want to jam you in your lower back. Just a really low lift is absolutely fine, as long as you're pressing through the heels, and you'll feel like your butt muscle does some work as you extend out into the band and back. So you can do a set of 10 of these. So we'll just do 3 more of these exercises. And then once you've done a set of 10 of those exercises, you can simply take the band off your legs and hug both knees up toward the chest, just for a little lower back stretch. So hugging both knees up toward the chest, just a little rock from side to stretch out the lower back. Then extend your right leg away, almost like you're trying to touch something on the other side of the room, and just hug your left knee up towards your chest, and just point and flex the right toe to stretch through the calf and the hip. And then swap sides. So hug the right knee up toward the chest and extend the left leg away, just to stretch through the hips and the calves. Great. From here, the next core exercise, I did say there was 2 more, but I lied. There's one more harder one that you can try. And again, this is not appropriate if you haven't done roll-ups before. If you've got lower back pain, this one might be too strong, but you can give this a try. So roll onto your side, swing your legs around. Make sure your knees are bent, and you're going to hold onto the straps. You're going to tuck your chin under very slightly, engage your pelvic floor and core, and then roll yourself down. So we'll just do a set of 5 here. So the straps will help you. And then you'll take your chin to your chest and then roll yourself back up. So we'll just do a set of 5 here. Try to make sure your knees stay generously bent, so you don't necessarily have to have straight legs with this. Try to keep your pelvic floor engaged the whole time as you roll down and as you roll back. So like I said, this is a stronger core exercise. So if you find it too challenging, then stick with more repetitions of the easier exercises. Great. And once you've done the last one, you can roll yourself up and we'll come up into standing. And before we start our arm exercises, I'll get you to just have a little stretch on the wall. So you take your hands up on the wall or the bar that's in front of you and let your knees bend generously and just have a stretch into the shoulders, which is quite a nice thing to do after all of your core work, is just to open up your chest a little. Then from there, you'll be taking the strap that's attached to the doorknob, and we'll be doing a set of rows. So it's really important, especially if you're at home, you're sitting on the computer, these muscles start to get weak and you start to tighten up the front, but doing a set of nice rows will help to build the shoulder muscles at the back, so the scapular muscles that help support your posture. So you can simply pull the band back, open up the heart and then let it go. Be really mindful not to push back too far with your elbows, because then your shoulders just go forward. So think about more of your heart going forward and your elbows don't travel too far, and then come back. And you can find your own resistance. So if the resistance is not strong enough, then step away from the straps and make it stronger for yourself. But at home, I'd like you to do 2 sets of 10 of these. At the moment, we'll just demonstrate 1 set of 10 so you know what you're doing. Then from here, we'll do a bicep curl. So you'll simply take your straps, hook them underneath your feet. Yes, have your feet hip distance apart, engage the core, lengthen the body, open up the shoulder blades, and we'll see if we can do 2 lots of 10 bicep curls. Now with this, you want medium or moderate resistance, so you might need to hold the strap in a different place depending on how much resistance you have. The important thing when you're doing a bicep curl is to make sure your shoulder blades are engaged at the back, which is a little bit like letting your collarbones smile. So if your collarbones smile, they come up and back, the back of the neck stays long, so your head won't be going forward. You protect the neck with this, but at home you can do 2 sets of 10 bicep curls to try and start to work on your upper body strength. So that covers all of the exercises that we can share with you that you can use at home to keep your pelvic floor, core, postural muscles and gluteal muscles strong, and I hope that helps you.